It's the Brigham Bros BYU Sports Podcast. Alright, welcome one and all to this second edition of the Brigham Bros BYU Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Dallin Smith. So this is the second iteration of that episode, and I didn't have a lot planned. I'll just say, for the second episode, I'm really kind of sick. There's something going on with my ear, actually, today. And so, yeah, let me adjust a couple things, actually. I apologize. This is like my storage room where the computer is, so. But, yeah. We are now on the second episode. We've got a few things to talk about. And the first thing, because I didn't even think it was something that was even going to be brought up, was last time we talked about, and I even put as a thumbnail, is he gone? Is Kalani Sitake gone? As of yesterday, he signed a new deal to be with BYU football program for a long time. NIL went up, which is fantastic, because the thing is like BYU's already getting recruits, right? It's signing day today, actually, and we've got a certain two people that could be flipping, so we got to talk about that too. But so BYU is now kind of set for a while. The two budgets of Texas Tech and BYU are the two biggest right now in the Big 12. And so I think now you got to start thinking the Texas Tech BYU rivalry. This is going to go to the championship game. Probably going to play every year. This could be one of those marquee games that you see every year. Everybody's like, that's not even half of the budget of because I think they're getting like $10 to $15 million more for NIL. However, how good of a coach Kalani Sitake is, I don't think it's going to really matter in the long run. But it's going to also help, because guys like Ryder Lyons and Brock Harris and those guys that have put their commitments in the spring or the summer, I mean, they're taking a pay cut as it is. So now you don't have to pay cut those guys. There's other people that you could pay. You can get probably as many people as you want. And now Kalani Sitake is here to stay. I don't know the details of the contract. I know it's like $9 million a year he's getting. And I saw people said that's not true, but I think it is pretty true that he would have got somewhere for the whole contract $100 million to go to Penn State. So he picked BYU. And I never worried about him picking BYU because he loved BYU. But the thing is, and I think I don't remember if we talked about it last on Monday, but the thing is with Kalani Sitake, I know, is that he's going to use his stuff for leverage. It's just what he does. And I think it's a smart move. I think it's really smart to do. Because he got what he wanted. And I don't know how much Brian Santiago was involved with that. I heard it was a lot of boosters, a lot of people coming to the rescue, the prophet of the church having to approve a budget, Dallin H. Oaks. I think the president of the college also had a big say in what happened. This shouldn't have been that hard, is all I'm saying. Not to be rude, my dead grandparents in the ground could have got this done easier. I just don't understand what was so hard about that. The thing is that if your boosters are rallying to save this guy from going somewhere else, I don't think it was that difficult for you to do. I really don't. I really don't think this was a difficult thing for you to have to try to do. I think all you had to do was give him what he wanted. And that's what happened. Now we have a bigger NIL budget. Now, Satake is now an associate AD there, and he gets all the say with the football program, which is what I want. I want the coach who has really... Because here's the thing is that for me, and this is going to be an interesting take, and people aren't going to like this take, I was not a big fan of Bronco Mendenhall. Not at all. Maybe when he first came in, made BYU, Mountain West Conference powerhouse. But the guy, I don't think can handle the Power Four. I think Kalani can. He's taken this program to new heights. He got us in the Big 12. He got us in the door. Like, that's something you got to understand. He got us in the door. If it weren't for him, and his teams from 2020 to 2022, BYU's still independent. You know what I mean? BYU, AJ DeBonsa's not here, in my opinion, if it's not for Kalani Sitake. Obviously Kevin Young has a big impact on that, but this basketball program isn't where it is. The sports program is not where it is without Sitake, showing everybody, hey, we belong in Power 4. We could beat Utah. We can go undefeated against Pac-12 opponents. That 2021 season was pivotal. I don't think the 2020 season really had an impact on this because, really, you're playing Podunk U, and then Coastal Carolina wins and beats us at home, which was the last time BYU went 11-1 in a full season, not just in the regular season. It's been, I think, over 20 years or over 30 years since BYU has had one loss in the regular season. It's been a while since they've had back-to-back 10-win seasons. And if you look at the last 5 to 6 years, I think it's 5 years. No, it's 6. 6 years. 4 out of 5 regular seasons, or 4 out of 6 regular seasons have been 10 wins or more. So, yeah, it's important to keep him. I don't understand. From my understanding, is Santiago wanted Jay Hill. And I think that was all true. And I don't understand that. Jay Hill's a great defensive coordinator. Don't get me wrong. And partially the reason why BYU is really good now in the Big 12. But your head coach is Kalani. Let's not get it twisted here. I think if you think that Jay Hill would be better, either you don't watch BYU football at all, because he was doing things without Jay Hill. I think everybody has to understand that. And everybody's worried about Jay Hill leaving. Listen, I have a source close to him, and I have sources that have said he's happy where he's at. I think he just wanted a little bit more money. And that's fair. I think that's what Kalani was trying to do. Not get himself just paid, get his boys paid too. And that to me, God, he's a great man. Because he doesn't think about himself in that situation. He could have taken the bag. He had the bag. But he wanted to be at BYU. He picked BYU. And he picked taking care of his assistant coaches over himself. So, truly, do you want the guy who just barely got here 3 years ago to be your coach? Or 2 years ago to be your coach? Or do you want the guy that's been here and built this thing into something awesome from the ground up? For me, I think it's a no-brainer. You got a lot of Ute fans on Twitter. Jay Hill would be a better head coach. I got into it with a Utah State fan on Twitter, too. It's you're little bro. Don't even talk to me. You have Bronco Mendenhall as your coach. He's the king of Mountain West Conference. All due respect. But he's not built for what Kalani is built for. Okay, so yeah. And so that brings into this week. We've got signing day. Um, I'm going to be on it as much as I can. I'll try to give you some shorts and stuff as I hear news because I don't got anything better to do. Trying to look for another job as I'm doing that, but I'll break some news. But one of them that I'm seeing, that could be a possible thing. I have a source that is saying there is a strong possibility the Pula twins flip from Utah to BYU. You know, but I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I just heard that from somewhere. And that would be amazing. I want Bear to have somebody to throw to next year. You know, because wide receiver room is going to look a little thin, in my opinion. You're losing Carson Ryan. You're losing Chase Roberts. I've watched the Pula twins a few times this year because I watch high school football too now. And they're good. I want them. I want them at BYU. They're good. So yeah, and there could be a couple more. I haven't heard too many of that, but we should get like the same people signing. I think Brock Harris, Ryder Lyons, things like that. It's signing day, so today's the day they sign. And that 2026 class is going to be insane. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of them are going on their missions, but you know, it is a blessing, kind of. And I had this discussion with one of my friends a couple months ago. We were down at Chubby's in Orem for the Colorado game. And he mentioned to me, it's like, hey, dude, like, Bear Bachmeier is going to start this year. Next year, Ryder Lyons goes on his mission. The year after that, he's going to sit and learn. And then Ryder Lyons is going to be insane. So you have 3 years of Bear. You could have 3 years of Ryder Lyons, or even more. You could have 4 or 5. Because here's the thing about college football that's a little tricky now. In Chris Sims, because I was watching his podcast because they're talking about the Broncos. If you want to get ready for the NFL, you play. You find a place and play. You know. And I do think for one, like you redshirt Ryder for that final year Bear's going to start. And then you let him play. You know, obviously Ryder, I think, might take the money over and play in the NFL. But, like, you look like Jackson Dart. He's, like, ready to go. Because I think he played a few years in college. I don't know how many years he honestly played. We got technology for this. Let's see. Who's really good. Really good. He about destroyed my Broncos. So, let's see here. College. So he 2021 he was at USC. And that's 2021, 2022. He played 4 years. And he's insanely good. He's really good. And then you look at like Bo Nix and like Jaden Daniels, you know. I would say even like Caleb Williams. Like all those guys played. Like they're like, I can make more. Like Caleb Williams even said, I can make more money in college than playing in the NFL because he had the sponsorships and everything. But Caleb Williams was he's really good now. All the second year guys, Drake May, you know, you look at the guys in the NFL that played. I could see Bear being a 4-year starter. I could also see Ryder Lyons being a 4-year starter. So you could have potentially 8 years of really good quarterback play at BYU. And not only that, now you got this NIL to fix everything and do everything. Like, BYU set. They have a window to win a championship for a decade, almost. And you could even get, like, more guys coming in. Like, you get you could go get a quarterback. Like, it's like, oh, Ryder Lyons came here. Okay, cool, I want to come here. That was a big deal. I don't think anybody realizes how big of a deal that really was. Because it's now like, okay, now you're gonna get, at the very least, you're gonna get a guy like, who broke the streak against Utah? Jaren Hall. You could get, like, at the very least, that's what you're gonna get. And Jaren Hall was really good. I argue he was better than Zach Wilson. Like, I think he was better prepared for the NFL than Zach Wilson. Unfortunately, nobody's giving him a chance. Like, it's kind of annoying, but because I wish some bad team would have been like, yo, we need a quarterback, so let's go get Jaren Hall. Unfortunately, that never happened. Like, the Vikings are bad, and J.J. McCarthy's not the guy, and J.J. McCarthy didn't play a lot. Like, it's not hard to figure out. The more you play, the better you're going to get. Like, that's just how, like, this works. College football now is insane like that. Anyway, I just think, huge deal, Kalani staying, and this segment has gone on too long. I'll give a preview for Saturday. Got the conference championship game, which I'm stoked for. I wasn't as stoked for it when I heard, hey, Kalani might be leaving. We thought he was leaving Monday. So now I'm pumped. I think the players are going to be pumped. I think my key for this is don't make the stupid mistakes. Like, Parker Kingston's just got to just know when to fold him and know when to walk away. I watched that punt that he muffed early in the game. Yeah, we would have been at like the 3-yard line, but sometimes you got to let those be. If you're not sure about it, don't do that. We just can't piss down our legs this game. I don't think they are going to. I think with LJ Martin, I think with Samoa Moa, Justin Kirkland playing, I think BYU is going to have an easier time. Plus, with this news, like, are you kidding me? Yeah, BYU's not. It's not going to be the same game. The outcome's going to be a little different. I expect both teams to come out and it's going to be a show. It's going to be a good game. I do think, though, this might be bold, but I think BYU is going to pull this one out 27-24 on a last-second field goal by Will Ferrin. I think BYU is going to do it. Now, am I 100% for sure he's on that? No. So, but I think they're more than capable of beating this team. And I see BYU being really, like, ready. I see them being ready and pumped. This is exciting. We're in the championship game. We have a chance to win a conference championship for the first time in years. But not only that, like, win a Power 4 one. It's awesome. I'm excited. I think BYU's going to get it done. All right, we got basketball tonight, too. I don't remember who they're playing against, so I'm going to look. Yeah, BYU men's basketball. The California Baptist Lancers, it is in Salt Lake City tonight. It is in the Delta Center. I just like BYU is going to win this game. I'd say like 100-58 should be the final score. My thing is that BYU's basketball team, now's the time to get ready because we're playing against, like, they're playing like Clemson next week, but they're not really that good of a team. This is the time now for KY to make adjustments because BYU's not, like, together right now. Like, their one loss, yeah, they lost by 2, and they lost to the number 1 team in the country by 2. But the problem is, for me, I think they really got to shape it up. This is the time, KY. This is the time to get going. I look forward to watching the game. But I do think with everything going on with Kalani and with signing day. Basketball is such an afterthought. But yeah, we do have a game tonight. Hopefully they just go out there and kick their ass. And that's it with that. That's really all I got to talk about today. If you like this podcast, you want to see more, please subscribe, give me a like, helps with the algorithm. Next week, hopefully I have this live, and that would be fantastic. So yeah, next week we are going to hopefully talk about BYU Big 12 Championship and some more stuff with the basketball program. So I'll see you next week.